physically it shouldn't be able to rotate when it gets down into that little space. Hello and welcome to another NihongoGamer video. Today we're going to make the impossible possible. Now this is something that a lot of Tetris players have probably known for a very long time. We're playing Puyo Puyo Tetris S on the Switch. I think a lot of Tetris players have obviously known this for a long time, but I don't think this is common knowledge. I think that this special move known as the T-spin, I saw it in the corner of my eye when I was playing on the Nintendo DS. It would say T-spin or back to back and T-spin single and T-spin double, and I said, what are they talking about? And essentially there is a way to fill spaces in Tetris that I thought were physically not possible before. So we're going to go into Tetris, and essentially you can use this to get a lot of points, or you can use it in Tetris Battle, and I'll just set it up for you. Essentially, if you end up in a situation where you've got all your blocks like this, and you see there's that little T-shaped space right there, and it's like, I can't get that red block in there, otherwise I'm gonna have a little gap, and you don't want gaps. But it turns out, if you take this purple block here, you can get it into that space. Now it looks like physically it shouldn't be able to rotate when it gets down into that little space, but the truth is, if you get it down in this position, and then you rotate it once it reaches there at the bottom, hold on, here it comes. T-spin. I was like, what is T-spin? And turns out, T-spin sends 4 lines of blocks to your opponent. So if you're playing competitively, so you're playing against a friend, then it will send them 4 blocks, which is the same as what you would send over if you sent a Tetris. But you don't need 4 lines, you only need a couple. Normally you would need to clear 4 lines to send 4 lines over to your opponent, but if I do this and do my T-spin double, I'll send 4 lines over. Anyway, I thought that was impossible, but apparently with, you know, recent Tetris you can do something, I think it's called like super rotation. And by the way, I'm getting all this from Puyo Nexus, which this is a channel that I didn't know existed before, but yesterday I discovered it, and now I know everything there is to know about Tetris and Puyo Puyo. Hold on a second, let's see if this works. Oh, did you see that? So again, moves like that, which physically wouldn't be possible because they're square shaped and they can't actually rotate. Tetris doesn't really think about that, it just kind of teleports the block into the right position. What the whole thing is going on with Puyo Puyo versus Tetris is that it's getting people into the competitive world of Tetris. Whereas I always thought of Tetris as this thing that you just did to pass the time. I read this article saying like it's really difficult to think about other things while you're playing Tetris. Not only is it good for calming your mind and letting you just helping you just chill out, apparently it's really good for battles. So let's go in here to 1-player mode. But let's go into versus, and I'll just choose Tetris versus Tetris so that you can see what happens. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up Tetrises, which is when you have 4 lines clear at the same time, and that's the only way to do that is using this long blue block. So I'm just going to bring in my held block here, I'm bringing that down, and you should see 4 blocks get sent over to the enemy, so we've got 4 of those grey blocks sent over. Now, let's try it with the T-spin, so I'm going to fill up the blocks here, and now I've got 2 lines there at the bottom, so I don't have to fill up 4 lines. Let's rotate T-spin double. Whoa, whoa, well that time I sent 5. So I think normally it would send 4, but because I did them in a row, it sent 5 instead of 4. Alright, so I'm set up for a T-spin now, and I haven't done another Tetris just now, so let's do it. So it's not back to back, and it sends 4, and can you see? It sends, well, if I pause the game you can't see, but if I unpause the game you can see it sent 4 of those white blocks over. So if you get it back to back you get 5 sent over. Anyway, this is gonna sound totally ridiculous, but I had no interest in competitive Tetris. I bought this purely to play by myself, and now I'm like really into the idea of battling other people in Tetris or in, you know, Puyo Puyo. I'm still trying to figure out the whole combo system in Puyo Puyo, but it's hard. It's really hard. I would say it's way harder than learning Tetris. I'm not gonna try and go into the whole tutorial thing, but essentially if you can make that little T-shaped hole there, all you need to do is fill up the rest of those 2 lines at the bottom. So let's just make sure that we've got a couple lines filled. Now that we've got 2 solid lines, all the blocks are filled except for that T-shaped space. And the important thing to make it a T-shaped space is that little red block there is covering the corner of it. So normally a purple block couldn't fall straight in, but because of T-spin mechanics, you can actually send it in by rotating it afterwards. He sent 4 lines over, but I just neutralized it, I think that's what it's called, by sending 4 lines back. It's just unbelievably enjoyable. A shout out to Sega of America for getting people on board to do the tutorials, because that was what really hooked me onto Puyo Puyo vs. Tetris. I had already bought the game, but I didn't think that I was going to get into it. I thought I was just going to play it for relaxation purposes. Then because I saw the tutorials on Sega of America, I was like, okay, let's check out this whole T-spin thing, and now I'm like hooked. I can't play anything except Tetris right now, so do check out the Puyo Nexus channel. They've got, I think, live streams and all sorts of tutorial stuff on their page, and also the Sega of America page, because the tutorials that they had done for that are pretty good. I would say the Puyo Puyo tutorials are a little hard to understand. I think you have to already have a fairly solid grasp of what Puyo Puyo is before you watch those tutorials. But for the Tetris T-spin tutorials, there's one called T-spin methods and T-spin setups. If you watch that, you will enjoy this game so much more. Even if you thought you're not really into Tetris, this may well hook you in. I'm totally hooked. I'm so hooked that even though Minecraft is going to come out in about a week's time, or a week and a half's time, I don't even think I'm gonna get, like, I was like waiting for Minecraft. I was like, what am I gonna do until Minecraft arrives? Now, I think even when Minecraft arrives, I'm gonna be hooked on Tetris, because this is a lot of fun. And this is not even going into the whole Puyo Puyo versus Tetris part. This is just the Tetris battle part. Once I start getting good at Puyo Puyo, I'm gonna hopefully make some videos about that as well. And then, I don't know, I may get into the whole Tetris versus Puyo Puyo, or the swap mode, which is like every 25 seconds or so it like switches between Puyo Puyo and Tetris. My brain has exploded. It may not seem like a big deal, but once you try this, you will feel like, oh. Anyway, a bit of a random video. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, share the links and all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next NihongoGamer video.